Step-by-step exam solution. OK Maths class training you to excel. Subscribe, give a thumbs up, share with friends, notification so that you get every video. OK Maths class, step by step to exam success. Step number 1, plan. Step number 2, pray. Step number 3, prepare. Step number 4, preview. And step number 5, perform. In this presentation, we are going to solve WASSCE May June 2012 questions number 8 and 9. Question number 8, geometry, angle of elevation and depression. Question number 9, geometry, construction. Question number 8. A point H is 20 meters away from the foot of a tower and on the same horizontal ground. From the point H, the angle of elevation of the point P on the tower and the top T of the tower are 30 degrees and 50 degrees respectively. Calculate, correct to 3 significant figures. PT. B. The distance of H from the top of the tower. C. The position of H if the angle of depression of H from the top of the tower is to be 40 degrees. Let's solve these questions together. This is the tower, this is the foot of the tower, and this is the point H, 20 meters from the foot of the tower. Now, from there, the point H to the point P, the angle of elevation is 30 degrees, while from H to the top, the angle of elevation is 50 degrees. We are going to find PT. So the PT is being highlighted, and that's what you want to find. So PF over 20 is equal to tan 30 degrees. So we are going to cross multiply. So PF is equal to 20 tan 30 degrees. So PF will be equal to 20 times tan 30, which is 0.5774. Use calculator, we multiply this. So PF is equal to 11.548 centimeters. Now we are going to calculate the height of the tower, TF. TF will be equal to over 20 will be equal to tan 50 degrees. That's this angle at this point. Cross multiplying, TF will be equal to 20 tan 50 degrees. That will give us 20 tan 50, 20 multiplied by 1.19175. So TF will be equal to 23.835 centimeters, using calculator to find the value of this. Now, the difference between TF and PF is TP, and to find TP, we need to find the difference between them. So TP will be equal to TF minus PF. So now TF is this 23.835 centimeters. We are going to substitute that here, then minus PF, which is 11.48 centimeters. Then using calculator we can subtract this. So TP will give us a 12.287 centimeters, and that will give us 12.3 centimeters correct to 3 significant figures as required by the question. Then we'll now go to question number 8b, the distance between H and the top of the tower. Now that's the tower, and then every other thing is here. So now therefore we are going to find that 20 divided by HT. 20 is the adjacent, and then we are looking for the HT, and the angle between them is 50 degrees. So that this ratio will give us cosine. So that's cos 50. Then we're going to cross multiply. So 20 will be equal to ht multiplied by cos 50. And cos 50 is 0.6428. We're going to make ht the subject. So ht will be equal to 20 divided by 0.6428. Using calculator, we can evaluate this. So now ht will give me 31.11 centimeters, which will give me 31.1 centimeters correct to 3 significant figures. So we are now going to go to question number C. The position of h if the angle of depression of h from the top of the tower is to be 40 degrees. Now this is the diagram. This is the angle of depression, 40 degrees from the top of the tower, looking at h, the new position of h. This is not the old position. These two angles are equal, alternate angles. So this is depression and this is elevation. So now we are going to find x. So now the opposite to 40 degrees is 23.84 meters, and that's what we have here. We are going to divide that by x. That's what we have here, and that will give us a tan 40 degrees. Then we are going to cross multiply. 23.84 will be equal to x tan 40, and tan 40 is equal to 0.8391. So therefore, making s the subject, we are going to have x is equal to 23.84 divided by 0.8391. Using calculator, we can find the value of this. So x will now give us from calculator we have 28.41 centimeters. Again, giving our answer to 3 significant figures, we are going to have x as 23.4 centimeters. So that brings us to the end of question number 8. We'll go to the next slide for question number 9. Question number 9. 3 towns x, y, and z are such that y is 20 kilometers from x and 22 kilometers from z. Town x is 18 kilometers from z. A health center is to be built by the government to serve the 3 towns. The center is to be located such that patients from x and y will always travel equal distances to access the health care, while the patient from z will travel exactly 10 kilometers to reach the health center. Using a scale of 1 centimeter is equal to 2 kilometers. Find by construction using a pair of compasses and ruler only the positions of the health center can be located. B. In how many possible locations can the health center be built? C. Measure and record the distances of the location from the town X. Now, as usual, in every problem involving construction, first we need to make a sketch. So this is the sketch. So now, this is the location of the health center around this circle, 10 kilometers from Z, and it must be along this line. So now the two positions will be this and this. Now let's go straight to see how we can do this construction on the construction board. Now we are going to start the construction. We are going to draw our line. So XY is 10 centimeters. Now placing our compass at this point, we are going to draw an arc which will be equal to the length given 11 centimeters, and then place our compass here measuring 9 centimeters. We are going to draw another arc to cut this first arc. So now with this point, we are going to join this point to this point. That means from Y to this point. So now placing our ruler, we join. That's the joining of the point. that's Z, 11 centimeters. Then we are going to join this to give us 9 centimeters. We place our ruler and we draw. So that will give us a 9 centimeters. So now, having constructed a triangle, we are now going to find the locus of point that's always the same distance from X and Y. And to do that, we are going to place our compass at here and here and draw an arc. So here we draw the first arc. Then we are going to place our compass here to draw the second arc. So now the two arcs will intersect at this point and at this point. So we are going to place our ruler and join a straight line through those points. So now that's a line passing through those points. The head center must be located along this line. So now the next we are going to do is to find the distance of that head center from Z, which must be exactly 10 kilometers, and that will be the radius of the circle that we moving around with Z at the center. So now with the compass at Z and the radius of our compass, which will be the distance of the head center, and in our scale 5 centimeters, we draw a circle. So now the head center must also be located anywhere along this circle, but the point of location will be intersection on this line and the circle. So now we have the first point at this point and then the second point at this point. So these are the two possible locations of the head center. So in how many possible locations can the head center be built? The answer is, as you can see the points being highlighted, there are two possible locations. These points are P1 and P2. P1 here and P2 at this point. So now we go to question number C. Measure and record the distances of the location from the town X. From the town X, we are going to measure XP1 and measure the distance XP2. So now let's do that. So now that's XP1. We are going to place our ruler to measure that distance. Now this is our ruler. What is the distance? As you can see, the distance is 6.1 centimeters. So now XP1 is equal to 6.1 centimeters. So using a scale of 1 centimeter to 2 kilometers, convert 6.1 centimeters to real distance in kilometers, and that will give me XP1 is equal to 2 times 6.1, and that will give me 12.2 kilometers. Then we are going to measure the distance from X to P2. That is X to P2. Then we are going to place our ruler and measure, and then we mark the point here so that we can shift our ruler to measure the remaining distance. That's 10.5, and from here now you have 3.5 added to 10.5. So you agree with me that that distance now is 14 centimeters. So therefore XP2 will give me 2 times 14 centimeters converting to kilometer, giving me 28 kilometers. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and give a thumbs up. Thank you. We move forward for the next video.